Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all for the orientation of history subject. Very first, let me introduce myself. Myself, Deepali Harchande. I am teaching history to the art stream and English to the commerce stream. Since 3 years, I am working with Sarad Junior College, and it's a wonderful experience for me to teach the arts stream and to teach history subject. Though you are thinking that history is a very bore subject, but no, it does not like that. I think history is the most interesting subject in all the subjects. Once again, I welcome you all for the history orientation. First of all, I would like to congratulate you all that you have chosen the art stream in your life, and you will get ample of uh, opportunities and chances to prove yourself. We all know nowadays everywhere the pandemic situation is going on, the COVID-19 situation is going on, and we all are the first hand experiences, or we all are the first hand proofs of this pandemic situation. Means in future we can explain this pandemic situation to our students or to our next generation, that in our time the pandemic situation, COVID-19 situation was there, how we have faced that, then how the situation was, what had impact on economic, political, then on the global history. So all that things we will explain to the next generation. Means what? Whatever we are experiencing, whatever we are uh, facing, all that will be history in the next future. So for that purpose also we need to learn history subject. The history is also known as a social studies. Till 10th standard you have learned about the social studies. Now in 11th standard you will have a separate history subject. Till 10th standard in social studies title you had the history, geography, political science or civics, and that political democracy, that is also known as the economics. So these various parts you have learned under the title of social studies. But now in 11th standard all the subjects has got separated, and the whole subject means history separate, geography separate, political science and economics, these all separate subjects you are going to learn in this 11th and 12th standards. So now we'll see what does it mean by history, how it deal with the social life. Very first is, if we see the simple definition of history is his story. His story means a man's story. Whatever is been mentioned in history, it is all about the social life, economic life, political life, cultural life of man. So history means his story, that man's story. So history deals with all the other subjects, like history deals with geography, economics, political science, civics, sociology, then psychology, etc. So this is a simple definition that the history deals with all other subjects in a life. Let's see about history. See here, this slide will tells us about history with other subjects, or coordination of history with other subjects. Here I have mentioned community, economics, civics, social studies, geography, research, students, everything is deals with the history subject. As well as history is all about chronological order. It is all about timeline. Next slide tells us the history deals with the universe, not only the universe but the galaxy also, and a very small part of that galaxy is our solar system, and amongst all the solar systems we have our solar system, which we have sun on the head position and 9 planets, they are revolving around the sun. So our solar system is also a very small part of this galaxy, and amongst that the earth is a revolving around the sun, and only earth planet you will find where the human being or the living beings are existed. So how do we come to know about it? Because of history. We have the history of solar system, we have the history of universe, then galaxy, history of earth, then the human life, non-living beings, living beings, everything. We have all the things in our history subject. Here I have given one definition by Dr. Helen. Thinking through the implications and consequences of our increasingly digital present can only serve to eliminate humanity's technological past. Now I am leaving this definition for you all, that you need to take the meaning of the definition by your level, or first of all you read that definition and you people tell me the meaning of this definition when the college will resume. Fine. So I am leaving this definition for you people. Next here, this picture tells us about unity in diversity. It shows us the earth as one, and religious things are united here. History connects students with the real world. In today's interconnected world, students must be prepared to interact with people of all cultures and communities, and social studies prepares them for this. Social studies and history both are preparing for that. All children who go through the school curriculum, through the college curriculum, become something when they graduate, and no matter what that something is, they will need to interact with others from different culture and economic and socio-economic backgrounds. Students must study how society works and how people work in a society in order for it all to work once they enter society after graduation. In history, we are giving importance for the critical thinking. Critical thinking is a part of our history. Students are taught to evaluate others' decision and make connections between influences and circumstances. Young people get the opportunity to learn from others' mistakes through history subject. Next is, history gives students an understanding of the real world around them. Students learn about Students learn about places, cultures and events around the world, what conspired to make them the way they are, and can make inferences about how the rest of the world works. Now, how do we know what we know about the past and what we get from the history? From the history, we can learn about government, political ideas, country economy and resources, and more students gain political skills by analyzing and evaluating existing systems and imagining the future of the place in which they lie. If you want to study history in a very short time or in a very short period, the 5 things I have mentioned here, if you follow these 5 things, so you can understand history and you can relate that history with the human life, as well as you can relate the life with the current era. So what are these 5 points? Very first is examine source information. It is very important whenever we are learning history, whenever we are thinking about the past, we need to learn about the sources, or from which source what information we have got. That is primary sources, secondary sources, first hand sources or secondary sources that we need to think. While teaching history subject, that time we will learn it elaborately, but you just keep these 5 points in your mind. Then analyze primary sources. Primary sources means first hand sources, evidences, proofs which we have got from that particular area or from that particular region. For example, Harappan civilization, for other civilizations, we have got the primary things, primary evidences like pots, then articles, artillery. These all comes under in a primary sources. For example, these all are a written sources. Fine. Now, as I said earlier, that we are the first hand evidences of this pandemic situation. So this situation, this experience also comes under in a primary source. So we need to analyze that source or sources, then only we could get the authentic history. After that, use evidence to support claims. If you want to write history or if you are proving any particular point, fine, so that for that purpose you need to give evidences, you prove that all that evidences, then only you can write the authentic information of history. And last is understand historical context. After analyzing the primary sources, after providing necessary evidences, you can understand the historical content or context. So if you go through these 5 points, you will get history very easily. Now we'll deal with the history syllabus. What is 11th standard history syllabus? Altogether we have 16 lessons for 11th standard. It includes ancient history. The total ancient history has been included in first 15th lessons, and after that 16th means just a minute, yes, from 10 lessons you will get the ancient history, 10 11 also ancient history. After that, from the 12th lesson, 12 13 14 15 16, these lessons deals with the medieval period of history. So ancient and medieval history we are going to learn in this academic year. And in 12th standard you will have the modern history of India, modern history of world. So altogether In this year we have 16 lessons. After that, what will be the paper pattern? History paper pattern. Here I have mentioned paper pattern. We have altogether 9 questions will be there. Very first, choose the correct alternative and complete the sentence. Find the incorrect pair, write the correct ones. You have to, it is for 4 marks. Question 1 includes A and B. It is all about objective type of questions. Question 2, write names. It is also for 4 marks and it is deals with the objective type of questions. Next, observe the following map and answer the question based on it. Without map, we cannot imagine history and geography. So, in history, you have map reading and questions based on map. It is for 5 marks. Next is question number 4. Complete the concept map. Here, like web, like that, figures will be there, diagrams will be there, and you have to fill the blanks in that web or in that diagrams. It's 8 marks will be there. After that, question 5, short notes. You all know about it till 10th standard. In all the subject you had that short notes. Same year in 11th also you will have. Next is explain the statements with reason. Explain the statements with reason carries 9 marks. Question number 7, state your opinion, like application based questions, carries 9 marks. It is not new for you. Question number 8, answer the following questions in detail, carries 10 marks. And last is question number 9, answer the following questions with the help of following points. It carries 15 marks. So this is all about the paper pattern. You can take the pic also of paper pattern. We have seen about the paper pattern. Now we'll start with the contemporary. We have completed with the paper pattern. Now we'll see the whole syllabus. As I told you earlier, there are 16 lessons in our subject history. Now they have divided all that 16 lessons in 4 units as per the competency of the lessons and the students. So there are competency statements, and as per that they have categorized the 16 lessons in 4 units. So very first unit is unit 1, India in the proto-historic period, with special reference to Maharashtra. So in the Maharashtra, what was the history, proto-historic and prehistoric? So all that content deals with Maharashtra. Means here we are not dealing with whole India, but here we have started with our home state, that is Maharashtra state. So here Maharashtra proto-history and prehistory we are going to learn. After that, what does it mean by proto-history, prehistory, and the content, that I will explain you later on when we will resume the college once, or in the next PPT I will explain all that things. Now next is unit 2. It deals with India before 6th century with special reference to Maharashtra. Yeah, always we are starting with our local area. So here also with the concentric method we'll start with the Maharashtra first, and gradually we'll go towards the Indian history. So unit 2 is all about the sources and historical period. That things means the rise of emperors, then first farmer in our Maharashtra, political institution, political situation, economic situation in Maharashtra. That all things we are going to deal with this unit second. Again the 4 chapters will be there. See, 16 lessons are there. If we categorize it in 4 units, so each unit carries 4 units. Sorry, each unit carries 4 lessons. Okay, next unit 3, India from 6th century to 13th century. See, what we have started here from the ancient period means we have started the history of river valley civilization, means the emergence of human life, emergence of evolution of man. That things we means with that things we have started. So that is our first lesson, that the river valley civilization and various civilization in all over the world, that things we have with that things we have started our history. In that they have mentioned how the river valley civilization has emerged and who was the first farmer in India. That history we are going to learn in this first section. Now unit 3, India from 6th century to 13th century. In this unit, after the settlements of the villages, the society has got formed, and after that the new emperors has started emerging in all over the India. So very first we'll learn about the emperors information in that Mauryan period, pre-Mauryan period, post-Mauryan period, then which emperors were ruling in the South India, in the North India, as well as in the East and West India. So all the information about the emperors and their administration system we are going to learn, and it deals with the ancient history as well as medieval history. Last is unit 4, from 13th century to the 19th century. It is all about the Maharashtra. In that, as I told you, that medieval India or medieval history has got started. You must have watched the movie Padmavat. Fine. So that movie relates to this unit. Means who was the Alauddin Khilji, then Yadavas of Devgiri, then their empire, their ruling areas, on which areas they were ruling. So all that information we are going through with the unit 4 with the help of map. In history subject we have historical maps. In that physical maps has been included. Physical maps, they do not have the boundaries, but they have the boundaries of various emperors or various empires, territories. So that kind of maps we are going to learn in this 4th unit. And last lesson is about Shivaji Maharaj, about Peshwas and Swarajya. Means Maharashtra, in Maharashtra, Shivaji Maharaj, he had established Swarajya. How he had established Swarajya, and what was his administration system, and how he did welfare things for the Maharashtrian people. This information will get it through the last lesson, which deals with the Maharashtra, which deals with the Swarajya. So this is the categorization or dividation of 16 lessons in 4 units. Students, till yet we have seen about history subject, importance of history, then content in 11th standard, then paper pattern as per the board, and other information of history subject. Now you must have thinking that what is the use of history in our life? Why to learn history subject in 11th 12th or in degree, means in BA? So you need to think about the career options. Let me tell you here career options in history and what all job opportunities you people will get if you get mastery or if you get extra training in history subject. So let's see career in history. Here, as I told you that with additional qualification or with graduation, you will get lots of job opportunities. You will get various job roles also. Here I have mentioned few job opportunities after history or after taking a education in history subject. Secondary school teacher, then journalist, civil service administrator, solicitor, archivist, curator, heritage manager, and academic librarian. These are few opportunities you will get in future. Let's see one by one. Yeah, you all know about secondary teacher. You will get opportunity after graduation in history and B.Ed. You can work as a secondary teacher or higher secondary teacher. Journalist. In the course of journalist, history plays a vital role because once you know about the political and historical condition of a society, you can depict a society very effectively. So that thing comes under in a journalist course. Next is civil service administrator. Yeah, you must have heard about civil service administrators. After graduation in history or history specialization, you can appear for the UPSC and MPSC exams. So UPSC and MPSC, these are competitive exams, and if you qualify with these exams, you can serve our country as an administrator, or you will get various posts as a civil service administrator. There are also hierarchy of posts, so accordingly you will get the posts. Next is solicitor. Let's see what does it mean by solicitor. The meaning first we'll see. Meaning of solicitor means a member of the legal profession qualified to deal with convincing, the drawing up of wills and other legal matters. A solicitor may also instruct barristers and represent clients in some courts. Here solicitor plays a role like a lawyer, but he is not a lawyer. So here what we have seen, he can draw up wills. Wills, you know. You must have heard the word wills. Wills means a legal document containing instructions as to what should be done with one's money and property after one's death. Means here the solicitor, he is working like a lawyer and he can instruct the barristers, other lawyers also, and he can represent the clients in the court like a lawyer. So this is all about solicitor. You can get this job opportunity after the training in history subject. Now next profession is archivist profession. Very first is, what does it mean by archivist? Archivist means an archivist is a person whose job is to collect, sort, and care for historical documents and records. Here, archivist preserves all these collections, all sort of documents and records with him or in the office. So it is a job opportunity in archivist sector. Here you can see the picture. The lady, she is working as an archivist, how she is preserving all the documents, how she is maintaining records. You can see the shelf also there, and with the help of that material, the historians, they can or they could write their history authentically. So it is a archivist responsibility to produce various documents and records to the historians for their writing purpose. So here we'll see what I have mentioned. An archivist is an information professional who assesses means to help, assesses, collects, organizes, preserves, maintains, control over, and provides access to records and archives determined to have long term value. Means archivist, they are preserving all the documents, they are maintaining record for the longer time. Next profession is curator profession. Now what does it mean by curator? First of all, you must have know about the meaning of curator. A keeper or custodian of a museum or other collection. See, you must have seen that in museum you will get such kind of curators. Means they are providing all type of information of their archives. Means whatever they have preserved in their museum, they are taking care of that archives, or we can say artifacts, and all artifacts are under the custodian of curators. So the role of curator I have mentioned here. Curators are in charge of a collection of exhibits in a museum or art gallery. Means whatever you will see collection in museum or art gallery, so curator, it is their responsibility to preserve all that exhibits. Their job is to build up collections, often in specialist areas. Their work involves buying exhibits. Exhibits means the things which we can exhibit in our museum. Exhibits means जे आपण प्रदर्शनासाठी वस्तू ठेवतो त्याला म्हणायचं exhibits. Their work involves buying exhibits, organizing exhibitions, arranging restoration of artifacts. Artifacts means whatever they have got, documents, records. Then we can say artifacts means things. For example, copper vessels, then clothes. This kind of things comes under in artifacts. Identifying and recording items, organizing loans, and dealing with enquiries. So this is all about curator job. Let me give you one example of curator job or about museum. You must have to visit to the Kelkar Museum, which is near Bajirao Road in Shukrwarpet. So once you visit there, you will get what does it mean by curator and what is the responsibility of curator. So this is all about the job opportunities. Then heritage manager. Nowadays in Pune, we have heritage walk. You must have heard about Heritage Walk. All historians, they came together and they have started this Heritage Walk all around the Pune. Means in Pune, what all the historical places are there. So the historians, they are visiting these places and they are giving information of that places to common peoples. So here also they need heritage managers, those who can give information about the historical places. Next is academic librarian. You can work as a librarian in various schools and colleges. So we have completed with the job opportunities in history subject. Now we'll move towards the last part of this orientation, that is omitted part in this pandemic year. We all know about that 2020 and 21 is declared as a pandemic year, and that is why the HSC board has taken a historical decision that to omit some part from the textbook in the 11th standard. Let's see what they have cancelled, what they have deleted. So they have not deleted directly the lessons, but in that lessons they have omitted few parts. Means whatever extra information is there in the textbook, that information the HSC board or the Bal Bharati, they have mentioned in the boxes, and only that boxes, the boxes in pink color, green color, orange color, so only that boxes has been deleted from the syllabus, but the whole content, means 16 lessons are there for the examination. So here let's see first lesson, first farmer, unit 1, page number wise they have mentioned what they have deleted or omitted. Page number 7, column number 1, that column is only omitted. Content to be deleted. For additional information, some important Neolithic sites in India. Yes, only that column, that box has been omitted, but rest of the lesson that we have to learn. Same here, you can take the pick also. For second lesson, first cities of India, page number 12, first and second column has been omitted. Once you will get the textbook, that time you just cancel that portion. Page number 12, then page number 17. On the 17 also, the second column has been omitted. You will see one word is there for additional information. So what they have cancelled, only additional information part has been cancelled. Mesopotamia is known pottery and leather products, that has been cancelled. Lesson number 3, Chalcolithic villages in India, page number 21, column 1 and 2 has been reduced. Lesson number 4, Vedic period, page number 28, column 2nd, page number 38, column 1 and 2 has been omitted. Same here, you can see lesson number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and accordingly they have mentioned the page numbers here. You can take the screenshot also. Lesson number 5, 40 page number 1 and 2 column has been deleted. 41 page 1 and 2 column has been deleted. Lesson number 6, page number 50, second column has been deleted. Then 53, first column. Lesson number 7, 59 page number, first column. 59 page number, second column. Lesson number 8, page number 65, first and second column has been omitted. Lesson number 9, 82 page, first column only has been removed. Lesson number 10, 86 page, first and second columns have been omitted. Same year, lesson number 11, 12, 13, 14. lesson number 11, 93 page. On 93, 1, first, second, both columns has been omitted. Page number 99, 1 column has been omitted. For 12 lesson 106 page, first column has been omitted. Same year for the for the lesson number 13, India during Mughal period, 110 page, second column, 113 first column, 115 first column have been removed. Lesson number 14, Swarajya to Empire, Maratha period, unit 16. In that, page number 119, 1 and 2 column has been removed, and 125 second column has been removed. So in this way we have learnt about how much part has been removed by the HSC board for this academic year only. So it is all about the history subject, all about the portion, syllabus, job opportunities and omitted portion. So thank you students, have a nice day, have a wonderful beginning. I am waiting for you all. I am very enthusiastic to see you all. चलो फिर, thank you students, thanks a lot, bye bye.